Now again, something I want you to get used to is the ability to show and hide layers, the ability to lock layers if you don't want to move them, and working on the right layer, to have the right layer selected when you're working. These are just things to be aware of because it will make your life so much easier. But now let's just save this thing out and make sure your file's saved. You're going to have to save it again. So Command S to save it. And if this dialog box pops up and it pops up like this, oh my goodness, you're not paying attention. What's going on? Okay, so we saved our file. Now we're going to save for the web, just like we did with our dPic. File, export, save for web. And I know this seems like a crazy shortcut to memorize, but you're going to use this again and 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 again every time you want to put something on your portfolio. Okay, so Shift, Option, Command S. Well, it actually is Option, Shift, Command S in this sequence. Is the shortcut. You don't necessarily have to remember it. And I know some of you are going to say, well, I can just save a JPEG. I know how to do that, and I'll work around this. If you really want me to go into all the technical reasons why you need to do it this way to work smart, I will. But for now, just trust me, okay? Now, saving out this size JPEG will work great on your monitor unless you're sitting at one of the little computers, one of the 21 inchers. In that case, see this? You want to make sure this is locked. Oh, and if this, for some reason, is on GIF, it means you didn't pay attention during the Gravatar videos. This is a red light. Warning, Will Robinson. You need to have this on JPEG high, and it should be there because that was the last setting. Just know, if I come by and I see this color table, I'm going to be disappointed, okay? So follow along. I'm not going to save this. If you are on one of the little ones, typing in 1980, 1920 by 1080 will automatically, because these are locked, it will automatically save. I'm going to go ahead and hit Escape and then just show you how quickly it can be done with the shortcut key. And then click Save. Now, it's going to, because I truncated that when I showed you, don't do that, it remembered, so it's always going to remember where you were. And it's popping out for whatever reason. It's going into my Documents folder, which is right here. Click here, into my Documents. I want it to go, I don't want it to go here. Now listen, this is the reason why. When you set your desktop picture, the computer doesn't know the difference between an Illustrator file, because this is your Illustrator file here, and the JPEG. Yes, it will read an Illustrator file. No, I don't want you to do that. Look, see this? This is all about working smart. You can resize this box. I want you to go down to your Pictures folder, and if your Pictures isn't in the sidebar, it means you didn't do the Finder, the OS preferences right. So here we go, and then make a new folder. Do not click Hide Extension. If that's on, deselect it. Got that? If that's on and there's no extension there, don't type it in. Deselect Hide Extension, and you're not going to see that in this dialog box, and Scotchco is going to go crazy because you're not paying attention. Make yourself a new folder, call it dPics, and then save your file there. And I probably have a dPic 01, and I do, so I'm just going to name this, because I didn't want to make you watch me type all that. Okay, so now I've saved out that JPEG. Now, back in System Preferences, see this? System Preferences. I'm going to come down to Desktop and Screensaver, and right now I have that file I showed you way back at the beginning, and you probably only have these two. I don't know what you have. So you can always click on the plus sign. I'll hit minus, so that's gone. You can click on the plus sign, and then navigate out to where your pictures are. Select that folder and then say choose. then everything in that folder, you're going to have one thing in that folder, is going to be there, and you can select it and know that it's a JPEG. Now for you, just fit to screen will work, but fill screen for me, because I'm on a different size monitor than you, is going to work just fine. And close that. Now, how do we know that works? I'm going to come over to the Finder. I'm Shift-tabbing over to the Finder. Showed you how to do that, right? And then I can close these two, so I'm just in the Finder. And then go under Finder, Hide Others, Option-Command-H. And there is the desktop picture, freshly minted. Just like I expect your stats panel to have your Gravatar, I expect your desktop to reflect your work from this point forward. If you click on stage 4, your desktop picture is now your individual creation. Nothing you pulled off the internet. You're not stealing other people's work. You're not drawing other people's drawings. You're making original work, and it sits on your desktop. Got that? From this point forward, only your work is on the desktop. And it should change. You should get tired of looking at what's there. Make several of these. Practice those skills. I expect you to know how to group, how to align, how to work smart. So practice, practice, practice. Make these skills your own. Scott, go, I'm done with the desktop. I'm finished. Did you practice? Because I'm going to say, okay, draw out a square. No, draw it from the center. All right, Option drag or drag out copies. I'm going to just ask you to do these things. So practice, know how to do it. Isn't that a great idea? All right, I look forward to seeing what you create.